Welcome to Patriot Truth Talk. I'm Brian, and I went down to Hayes Township for their last meeting, which is like 3 days ago, I think. Um, Not too much was really said. They voted on a few things, um, and I guess they are gonna put a blight board together. So here's a little clip of them talking about the blight board.
Discussion. Enforcement team. Um, Obviously, blight is a hot, heavy subject right now. With me and Andrew, we've spent a lot of time on the road and a lot of time in the office dealing with blight. We were talking about maybe going back to an enforcement team, something that would be operated similar to like board of review. So we would have public hearing dates. It would allow the residents that we're working with to maybe come in and work with us.
Questions answered.
Yeah, try to work through their problem, help them combat their problems if they have them. If people want to come in and complain, it would give a board for them to come and complain to, so it's not just one person yielding all the complaints. Yeah, anything to add, Andrew?
Other than that, gives one more option to be able to work with people and provoke them in cases that get in here and actually talk to us, because that seems to be the biggest problem.
And these would be like a kind of like a scheduled meeting, just like board review, so it gives people options to be able to come to them instead of just.
Maybe we can do them a little later in the day for folks.
I'll
Yeah,
say
we
like
could
similar
have
board of
different,
reviews, like hours, like 9 to 3, 3 to.
Yeah, have some different time frames for people to
Okay.
come in and attend and maybe just explain their case and see what they got to say.
Good, like good old fashioned, hopefully brainstorming session of how to be a cooperation.
Because every case
I
is
dig it.
different, so it's
Absolutely.
tough for one person, to.
Well, when you
Try
have
to-
so many cases going on that as it's going through the year, it's just compounding. We need one more option other than going from this to the court.
Yeah, I agree.
So, this
Kinda-
gives one more way of working with this possibly.
It'd be like an informal hearing,
Oh, okay.
so it's kind of how it would be. So, the township in past has had an enforcement team. It was like 3 people and 5 people.
3 people. It was the county
It was Terry and Ken
and a board member.
Ernie?
Yep.
Was it Ernie? Was that that?
so 3
Yeah.
people. So
Okay.
trying to reenact that same thing. So,
With a little bit more positive approach.
yeah, just gives
Yeah.
them another chance or
Mhm.
another opportunity for them to kind of communicate with us. And
Okay.
so, does the board have any 2 cents, any ideas? Bad?
No, like
I think it's a
I think it's a
great
good
start.
idea.
I think it's a great start.
Yeah, you gotta have a starting point.
Yeah, I like this.
Alrighty, I will prepare some documents for our next board meeting and policy procedure and start to drum up a committee.
Okay, so that's one of the things there. But I know a lot of people that are wanting to know more about the GFL transfer station during, what happened with that during the meeting. So we're going to get to that here in 1 second. About a week and a half ago, I did wind up going to the Clare County Animal Shelter. They had a special event there. It was called Slobberfest 2026. They reduced their fees for adopting a pet, which is a good thing because people will come out and hopefully take a look, for a new pet there, and adopt out of the shelter instead of going to a breeder. I did interview one of the workers while I was there too, so here's the video on that. It's a short video. So, and then when we get back, we'll talk more about what took place at the meeting. How many dogs have you adopted today?
Today we've adopted 4. The 4th one just went home.
Okay.
1 cat, and that's out of 29 dogs. We have 29 dogs here at the shelter.
Okay. And what could this shelter use?
Everything.
Everything. Okay.
Everything to take care of dogs and cats. Use volunteers. We could really use the community's help. Just come in and walk dogs. Because we've got kennel staff. We usually have 3 people on the kennel floor, but they don't get the one-on-one time like they should get.
Right, yeah.
So with that many dogs, they get to go out for 10, 15 minutes and come right back in.
Oh, okay.
But we usually, now that the weather is better, we put them outside in the outdoor kennels. So they get to spend time outside.
Yeah, I
And then
just
they get,
go.
but they really need the exercise.
Yeah.
And the
Companionship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would say that too. Okay, well. Hope you enjoyed that little short video there. I would say that if you are interested in volunteering and are in desperate need of volunteers there, it would be good for people to volunteer their time to spend some time with the dogs and the cats, to help them socialize a little bit. That way they're more calm when people come in to take a look at what kind of dog they want or what kind of cat that they want to. They're in desperate need of people volunteering as well to go ahead and walk some of the dogs and spend some time with the dogs, get them more socialized as well. So if you have time, give them a call or stop on by, see if you can schedule a day and a certain amount of your time to help out there. That'd be great. Don't have to be a lot of time. It'd be an hour a week or couple hours a week or something, break that up if you would like. But I know they're in desperate need, so hopefully we'll get some volunteers there to kind of help them out. Okay, so back to the Hayes Township meeting here. Before I talk more about that, I did see a post that Brendan Powell did. He posted that he's going to drop his support for the GFL transfer station. He had mentioned in his post that he was receiving, death threats, vandalism. He didn't specify that I saw if it was his business or his home or maybe both. Which that should never take place. If you don't like something that one of the board members is doing, that's why you show up at a meeting and you let your voice be heard at the meeting, and that's where it stops. Okay, you don't need to be threatening anybody or doing vandalism to their personal property. With that said, there were a lot of comments on that as well.
First of all, as a Hayes Township resident, even though I've only been here as a full-time resident since 2016, I have to apologize to you, Brendan, for you've been doing a great job. You've been putting Township first, and because there's people in our community that didn't agree with effort that you were trying to find out about and possibly have happen here, that people vandalized your property, they threatened your life, and that's completely uncalled for, and a person shouldn't have to go through that. Now, I did happen to write Citizens Against the Hayes Township Waste Transfer Facility, because they mentioned that that Rick had got hold of them, they were canceling it and everything else, that it wasn't going to happen. And I mentioned that it's time for this group to support you and find out who did this and do it. And the info page, we already posted that anyone involved in the threats or violence is not part of our group, and we are against all actions, and the police should be the one doing the investigating, not us. I truly believe the people that formed it truly feels that way. However, in any organization, you got people that are rogue. And it's very possible people that was in that group could have been the people, but it don't have to be those people. In my experience over the years, which I found a lot of things that happened throughout the, where things that wasn't supposed to happen, people that do this kind of stuff, they like bragging that I did this. So if you hear the people bragging about it, you need to turn them into the police. If you can get them on a recording device when they do it, you need to do that. An individual should not be threatened for what they are trying to do for the betterment of the job. Now, I am on the planning commission, and this stuff was just in the preliminary phases. Nothing was going to happen. I heard that they were going to be burning plastic, that they were going to be, that it stank, something terrible. I have a friend of mine, a retired colonel, and they were doing the same facility they have the same facility over in Traverse City. He investigated it for me, which I plan on doing my own investigation too. He drove by, didn't have any smells. I'm not saying I was for it or against it, but whenever anything comes up new, you got to give all avenues of approach trying to figure out the true things going on, not what everybody believes. This facility here was supposed to be different than the one in Surrey. Was it going to stink? I don't know. I'm not going to go investigate anymore because it's been dropped. But no matter what, any one of our elected officials, thank you.
I want to thank you, and I'm sure I'm not the only one relieved that the seeking of the potential for the trash transfer facility is done. I hope that, as Pat said, whoever's being vindictive like that doesn't represent everybody that maybe was operating out of fear. Myself, I can tell you I didn't want it, but I hope that you realize that communication is a good thing. I thank you for speaking with me last week, and I think everybody should take the time if they have concerns. I did try to diffuse, I feel like, by putting my comment out on a few of those sites, that it was in fact finding mode, trying to relieve some people that I don't think they were open to realizing that that's the stage it was in. So I hope that we can go forward and do positive things for our community, and I hope you find out who was not kind to you. And I spoke to Chuck after a meeting here because they were already saying bad things to him, and I said, you know, people shouldn't be behaving that way. We shouldn't. We need to be respectful to each other, both sides, one to another. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Jessica York. I'm sort of new to the area, but I just bought back my grandparents' place. They were original owners in 1969. I was in today combining all my parcel numbers. So I want you did the paperwork, yes. So couple different things. I have a significant amount of experience being on state boards. The one I just retired from, I represented 10,000 people. I understand the stress you're under. I had received death threats myself. I had gotten sued 4 times. I had been called every name under the sun. It is not easy to represent a significant mass of people. I 1000% understand that. That being said, I was also asked to moderate the page against the waste transfer station because I have significant experience. You're always going to get volatility when it comes to your personal residence, right? In no way, by no means, did anyone that I witnessed ever allow that kind of behavior that was happening to you on the page. Things were actually being posted against that, saying you would be kicked out. you'd be kicked out immediately. And I believe it was before I was asked to be a moderator, but that people had like instigated comments like that, and they were quickly and swiftly banned. So you absolutely should follow protocol and figure out who did that to you. It's unacceptable, 1,000%. I had to go through it myself. It's exhausting. So I feel you on that. If anyone has any questions about that too, like absolutely feel free to come to me. I'm not the one that created it or anything, but I was strongly against it and did have experience and grew up in waste management. So, you know, you get asked to do these things. I did get confirmation from the county as well, from Lori, about that there was support being withdrawn and they were moving on to another site. So if anyone was unclear about that, that was confirmed in writing today. In terms of your blight thing, yep, I served on one of those boards too. I recommend having a separate residential blight for commercial. You really want to keep those separated because it's two different sets of laws. And for personal blight, especially if you have seniors that are unable to take care of their properties or they have short-term disabilities, you can get your high school students involved. A lot of high schools in the state require volunteer hours to be able to graduate. This is a really easy way to cut down on some of those blight concerns and get more involvement from high school seniors, definitely as well. And if you guys ever have any questions about that, I've served on about 16 different boards in states and counties. So I'd be happy to help. I'm happy to be part of the community, and I am bringing my business up here as well. We're looking to retire full-time here within 5 years and bring my parents as well. So thank you.
People did have some concerns because that pulling the support, Rick did write a letter to Clare County, I think, or the board members at Hayes Township there, stating that they were going to find a different location for their transfer station. So I guess in a way the citizens won. People came together. Some showed up at the meeting, asked questions, voiced their concerns, and let the Hayes Township Board know that they didn't want the transfer station in the middle of town. Okay, but I'm going to pose a question here. And I want everybody to think about this and let me know what your thought is on this in the comments, please. I always like reading everybody's comments that they make. Just keep it clean. Okay, so none of the board members, including Brendan Powell, stated on public record that they pulled their support for the transfer station. Rick did not show up to let everybody know that they're going to pick a different location. I'm assuming it's going to be out of Hayes Township itself, but I guess we'll have to do a wait and see. So, if they didn't put it on public record in the meeting, are they just doing this online and writing these letters stating that they're pulling their support and they're going to go ahead and they're going to find a new location? Now, are they doing this so they can maybe come up with a deal behind closed doors and eventually in the future get back to the same location and just push it through without any more public comments or anything? So hopefully that does not take place. But that was a concern with the person that I talked to after the meeting there. I think a lot of people were disappointed that there was no public comment on record of the transfer station being canceled. So that's something I think everybody should think about, and maybe start showing up at these meetings, seeing what they're voting on. Maybe they're waiting for things to die down, because usually when things die down like this, people quit showing up and they don't realize what the board is going to vote on. Okay, so everybody, no matter what township you live in, you need to find out when your meeting is. It's usually once a month, sometimes twice a month. They'll have one in the morning and one towards the evening time, and both are different. But if you can only make one a month, that's fine. You definitely need to go to see what's going on, see what's being proposed. And you can also go on their, your township website. You can find out when the meeting is. You could get the minutes from the previous meetings as well. That should go over what they talked about, what they voted on, stuff like that. That way you can maybe familiarize yourself with what's going on. So it looks like for right now that the citizens of Hayes Township won this battle, which I'm sure in the future there's going to be probably many more, depending on, I guess, what comes up and who's looking for location and for what. Okay, so be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video out. And I do want to thank everybody, before I forget, I want to thank everybody that shared my videos so far. I got a lot of views on them, and I think a lot of people got informed of what's going on. So that's just great, and I thank each and every one of you, and I hope you continue to share these videos out, because my next video is going to be on the solar farm, because there's a company, it's called Atwell. Right now they are looking for a location. I don't know if they found one yet or not, but as last I heard, they are currently looking for one. Okay. Now the township on that did write up a moratorium that will suspend that for 1 year. I did get a copy of that, which we're going to go over that in the next video. Seems kind of interesting, especially the wording in that is very interesting and a little concerning. So I'm going to cover that in my next video. We're going to go over that a little bit. It's going to be a series of videos on the solar farm, and then we're also going to talk towards the end of this little series about data centers as well. Okay, so make sure to subscribe so you can get all the episodes on solar farms and data centers. Might be coming to a township near you. At least the solar farm may be coming to Hayes Township. Let me know your thoughts on that as well in the comments on this video. And if you could look at the first comment there, I'm starting a GoFundMe page to help fund these stories that I want to bring to you on YouTube for free. But I would like to get a little bit of help with, updating some of my equipment, gas for my vehicle to get around town, to be able to get the stories and fact checking and stuff like that, because I don't post a video unless I check the facts, and I always get as much information as I possibly can. I'm just not going to put something out there if I'm really not knowing the whole story or enough to even bring it to a video at that time. And I always keep any papers that I read. I have a file on each and every episode, so, and if, sometimes, I might get it wrong, but that's alright. If I do, I will retract it and correct it in a different video if need be. Alright, so everybody stay safe. God bless. Thank you for watching.